Fasting is legitimately a cheat code, and I'm not talking about 30-day fast or like a week-long fast. I'm talking about something as basic as a 24-hour fast. It's genuinely a cheat code. And I want to clarify that I'm not like a weight loss channel. I talk about spirituality, but basically this is one of the most impactful things, not just to my spirituality, but to my physical body as well. Essentially in like 2018 or maybe it was 2020, I was at my heaviest point ever where I essentially just weighed too much. I ate too much and I didn't exercise enough to really burn any of the calories. And then one day I basically decided to fast for just 24 hours. I had my last meal at some point at like 8 or 9 p.m. And the first day ever, it was legitimately very difficult around the time that I got hungry, which I think was around 1 or 2 p.m. It was hard, it was very difficult, but the more that I did it, like my pattern at first was like I would fast for one day and then like eat the next day and then fast the next day after that. It literally just got progressively easier the more that I did this. So basically the reason why I started doing it is because I have the really bad tendency to get addicted to good tasting food. Like I literally just cannot resist. Maybe it's genetic. I mean, my father seems to have the same kind of issue, but yeah, so I knew I needed to shrink my stomach to basically make myself feel fuller on normal proportions, because at that time, I was eating like crazy. I would have like 2 massive sandwiches with chips for breakfast with a giant thing of like sweet tea, and mind you, this is a homemade sweet tea with tons of sugar in it, so the sweet tea alone was probably like 400 calories or some crazy, nonsense. And then just like 4 to maybe 5 hours later, I would eat just another massive meal. And surprisingly, I never got too big. I basically just maxed out what looked reasonable for someone my height. I'm 6'8", by the way. So for me, I was able to gain a lot more weight without having it like really affect my figure really badly. But it was definitely, comparing to like now, it was really bad at the time. And you might notice watching this video that I do have a little bit of face fat and a little bit of a double chin here, and that's actually because of the fact that I actually, after reaching my lowest point relatively, around, I think it was late 2023, I might be mistaken on that, I was 187 pounds, and I'm like 200 and something now, like 210 I think, maybe at the heaviest like estimate. Last I checked it was 203. But the reason why I look a little heavier is because I realized, like, given the fact that weight loss for me was so unbelievably easy just by shrinking my stomach, I don't feel pressured anymore to maintain my weight, because I just know I could drop tons of weight instantly. I shrink my stomach and I could probably lose like 10 pounds in just a month or 2 months. And choosing to cut out things like soda or just other sugary drinks and going with sparkling water or diet soda, that's always an okay option, but I just don't recommend any of it, to be honest. So yeah, that's sort of my whole like fasting testimony. I don't recommend doing like multiple day fasts, because like I said, the goal is to shrink your stomach to basically allow yourself to feel full on less, because the core of the issue with weight gain and overeaters is the fact that there's a core problem, and the core problem is you don't feel full on normal amounts of food. Okay, you could get lipo, you could do a bunch of procedures, but they're not going to attack the core problem, and the core problem is that. So that is a solution that I personally used to go from 268 pounds, 268 pounds to 187, and I think just a year. Maybe just less than a year, but yeah, crazy.